Did you ever go to the Barrier Club?
I came out of that club one night, and I had a Vauxhall Senator at the time, a 3 litre in Senator. No tax, no insurance, no licence, as you did back then. Who needs that?
Yeah.
But they had a road. Yeah, they had a road closed barrier, like red and white, and then big. And I come out there and I drove straight into it and fucking ripped the car off. Didn't even see it. I'm still like that driving now, but yeah, I drove straight out of the barrier. I think I was probably a bit out of my nut, to be honest with you. But
I ended up hiding in there one night, in the Barrier Club. They raided it, and I hid in the broom cupboard, and they locked it and went home. And I had to stay in there until they come back on a Saturday.
It was a gaff, wasn't it? I was in there one night when a certain person from the plot fucking shot an apple off someone's head with a fucking tombstone. He made him put an apple on his head. He said, I'm telling you, I can do it. And he fucking done it. He shot it. Fucking thingy up, he shot an apple off his head with a fucking toe from about this. Oh, so, mate, yeah,
were
funny
guns
times.
all around, easily accessible, getting the guns and stuff?
Back then they were, and I'll tell you what happened. See, I had a thingy where I had a few. A lot of them come back from the first Gulf War, 91.
Yeah.
A lot of them come back from there, like different people. They found their way onto the streets. It's funny, that, isn't it? Yeah. And when people were working in Germany, do you know when Euro Disney was being built and all that? A lot of people were bringing little things back in toolboxes and whatever else. Mad, yeah, there was a lot of fucking things on the street back then, and they were in the hands of fucking idiots, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because you don't get to practice with them, do you, or anything? I mean, you know...
No. I've been shooting out with the special forces in Poland and everything the last couple of years. Yeah, I've done a lot. Like I've gone out there and to the ranges and that, firing guns. I'm not into guns and I'm not all, but I've gone out there doing it for fun and I'm not breaking no fucking laws.
No, it's just a good thing to go and do an experience.
Yeah.
What's it like doing? I mean, it sounds a ridiculous question, but what's it like doing an armed robbery? Is there preparation? Is there a buzz to it?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes you.
But it's always something that you don't expect to go wrong. Yeah, it goes wrong anyway.
Often.
You can plan the whole thing out over and over, and one stupid thing that you don't expect to happen.
Always.
Can fuck
always. I've done one before. Don't mean to be. I don't want to glamorise it or anything like that. But I've done one before, and we turned up too early. Right, we got the timings all wrong. This was in the city, so we've gone and sat in a pub. We thought, see what, we're going to have a couple of drinks, bit of Dutch courage. And we weren't professional. Any professional will tell you don't do that. You don't do it.
Yeah, you definitely.
So anyway, we got in there, we had couple more. By the time we've gone to do this, we're pissed as fucking farts. You know? We're proper pissed.
You're a bit more casual about it.
Well, pissed as farts. And anyway, we've done this particular bit of work, and I've got the money, again, not glamorising it. This is the fucking sheer stupidity of how we fucking were, if the truth be known. And I've got it inside a zip jacket. A zip jacket like that thing with, like where it is, so that I can just put it inside the jacket. I've got it like that. And anyway, I ain't even smart enough to have a carrier bag, like in the movies, fill the bag, you fill your fucking pockets, whatever. And I've got this modern money, and I've gone into this pub, and I've run from this place, because the thing is, we're going to run down it, we're going to give it an hour, and then we're going to make our way home. So you plan your getaway. You can put more planning in the getaway. Cut a long story short, I've gone back into this particular pub. Oh, fucking hell, it's hot. I've unzipped the jacket. Now, this pub is full of city people and everything, and all the money's gone. It's fucking hit the penny in front of everyone. They're all looking at me. That's a bit fucking odd. I've gone into takings from the shop, and I'm fucking swaying about. Mate, that's the sort of fucking nonsense we done, and yes, I've done a few good ones that were a bit organised, but
didn't you do one in the city when they had a kind of lockdown?
We did, and that one was planned, and we stole a taxi. I can talk about this stuff, it's ancient history, We'd stole a taxi because the only way you get in the Ring of Steel back then
was a taxi,
because they had, I don't know if anyone knows what that was, it was like a 3 mile perimeter.
That's right,
and they was on everything. If you had vans, it was the IRA bomb. You had to have, if you had a van, you had to have the back doors open or a shutter. You had to have open. So we come up with this plan, we'll nick a taxi. So we nicked a taxi. In fact, I don't even think we nicked it. I think it was just an old banger of a taxi that someone got.
A couple of people had bought taxis for running about in then.
It was like an old banger of a fucking taxi.
That looked fuck all,
it looked the part, and it was just enough to get us just in and out of the Ring of Steel. But it was an inside job anyway. It was a lot of bits of work. you know, and it didn't go well. It didn't go well because what we were supposed to get, the prize we were supposed to get, it never fucking what they sell it to. Someone will always tell you, it's fucking £1 million, and then you get in there and there's fucking 500 quid or so. The amount of times I've been on bits of work like that where we're supposed to have millions of fucking pounds and, you know, it never fucking thing. You know,
so there's never that moment when you're lying back in the room surrounded by a load of cash and...
Well, it happens in very rare occasions, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like the Brink Smack boys had a bit of luck when they'd done that one, didn't they?
But no one's ever got away with it.
No, this is well, the bigger it is, the worse it is.
Mate, they just throw every resource at it, and you know, fair play to anyone who has done it. And some people, I think, do it for the allure and to be. Look at Valerio Vici when he done the Knightsbridge and all that, and got all that and. You know, no one ever gets away with it. That's the sad thing. Yeah. So the Hatton Garden job recently, I mean, what a lovely bit of work. Yeah. You know, I'm not criminal anymore, but I do admire fucking people's audacity.
Well, a lot of the country admired them for that. It was an old school thing, wasn't it? And it's the fact that they drilled through and done all that work. Amazing. And the poor gits, like, because they was just old, they had them, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, you got to fucking hand it to them, ain't you? To be that sort of age doing something like that, which was a brilliant bit of fucking work.
You know what I mean? It looked like they made themselves legends, didn't they, for doing that? You know what I mean?
Brilliant bit of work.
You know, fair play to him for doing that, like, and it was just, I mean, it was there was like, it weren't like poor people were going to get affected by that.
But see, back in the day, I mean, listen, technology caught up, Bren, with the armed robberies. I met a lot of the top armed robbers in my time in jail, you know, the Billy Tobins and people like that, the old school security van robbers. And I was good friends with Billy Tobin and in Long Lartin and that. These people, they robbed security vans for millions back in the day. You know, they were the people, you emulate them, but we were never them. But they were a dying breed because technology was fucking catching up.
They were like the Butch Cassidys in their day, really.
Nowadays, you got all the ANPRs, data track, fucking cameras everywhere. You can't fucking scratch your balls in London without being on camera. And none of this existed in the past, you know, so you could get away with things. And people done it, we respected them. The area I come from as a kid, there was a lot of robbers because, you know, Bermondsey and it was just up the road. We knew a lot of them people. And I used to look up to them and think, and they were the fucking Dick Turpins. Because let me tell you something, I won't name people because I'm not about that, name dropper, but I know a lot of the players. And when we were fucking kids, more kids on my estate had fucking hot meals and milk powders when they run out of it, or electricity or anything, down to the fucking chaps and any fucking social security or fucking government, because there were certain boozers, you know, the people you could go to and say, fucking, we've run out of electric, or got no nappies or something like that. How could you not respect these fucking people?
They did.
How could you not respect them? So you're going to want to emulate them. I mean, I had no fucking role. I would love to have been... Back then, I would have loved to have been on a bit of work, one of them bits of work. I never was. I'm not going to give it a lie and say, oh yeah, I was out robbing security vans, because I weren't. But it was in me from a young age that these are the fucking people to emulate, the robbers, the armed robbers, be like these people. But you know what? We never were, Bren. We were just reckless game fucking kids who were like out of our depth, really, in a time when it was a dying fucking game.
Listen, I was around Woolwich growing up in the same era, and I am a fucking complete coward. Right? I was involved in none of this.
He was on loads of bits of work.
I was a proper coward, and I used to fucking look. These people like Ray and other names that we know are genuine legends that people talk about. I was a fucking little geezer in the background who was chasing a few birds, pretending I might have done something.
You were hard. You were hard.
And if there was any trouble, I was like, half a daily, I was out the fucking door in the car and gone.
But you know what? Ain't a fucking bad way to be. Ain't a bad way to be. Listen, I've spent 16 years behind the fucking door and I've been in some fucking dungeons. I had a dream like a couple of weeks ago. I had a dream I got a 6-week prison sentence for something.
And it's nice to wake up though.
I had my head in my hands in my dream. How am I going to get through this? Fucking 6 weeks.
Can't wait for the alarm to go off in the morning.
I've done more than that in fucking canteen queues, but I was like, fucking 6 weeks. I don't think I could do it now. I've fucking gone the other way. It's like, fuck how did I get it? I sometimes look back and I go, how the fuck did I do all that?
But
how long is it since that you've been inside?
I got out in January 2017.
Right.
and I've never offended since, and I've built a good life since then. So
Fantastic.
I spent most of the fucking 90s behind bars, most of the fucking 2000s behind bars. I say, like, when am I a successful criminal? Well, clearly fucking not, because I've done so much fucking bird.
Yeah.
I'd have periods, you know.
Yeah.
And then I'd have a lot of sporadic run and whatever, and then I'd get on that and fucking be talking bollocks.
But you've proved, right? You've proved that really, all along, had you had a little bit of a different path to go on,
maybe
you'd have been successful in what you're doing anyway. You've had success.
You know what? Very good friend of mine, Danny Harkins. No, you won't mind me mentioning his name. Lovely, beautiful man. He done a podcast a couple of weeks ago with Terry Stone, and he said all these skills are transferable, and it's fucking right.
It's true. Yeah.
Do you know, I've met some of the smartest people in jail who, and I do know a lot of success stories, but all that energy and fucking that we put into bollocks, living that life. Yeah. Let me tell you something. To fucking survive it, you're a fucking winner. You're a survivor. To put all that energy into something else, like I've done now. You know, I'm a successful businessman. I do a lot of good stuff, charity stuff like that. I'm a fucking best-selling author. Fuck mine. I was signed by the largest publishing company in the world.
How
fuck did that happen? And
is it as exciting for you? I mean, do you enjoy it as much?
Do you know what? I my whole attitude has changed. It's like I went from someone who thought that needs and wants, like you know when you want stuff because you think it's going to make you feel better. Nice cars, nice women, all this fucking bullshit. It's all a fucking illusion. It might be what you want, but it ain't what you need. When you focus on what you need, a bit of food in the cupboard, good relationships, few holidays and all this, you get it, life so much fucking better. And I've lost all that need for the materialistic fucking world and all that stuff. It doesn't interest me. It really don't.
Yeah, you're comfortable now, though, Ray, in your head, aren't you? You're quite comfortable,
fucking freedom,
relaxed, and like you say, the work you can do charity-wise and doing your own, having that, when you've done, like, I've never done that amount of time. I've done a month behind the door in Belmont.
It's fucking long enough.
But listen, it was enough to make me go, I don't fancy too much of this.
Let me tell you something. See, in that criminal life, right? In that criminal life, criminality and all that bullshit, that's the worst prison of all. Being in prison for me sometimes was a fucking relief, Brent. It was a relief because, you know, my life was going one way. Listen, I was going to get ironed out, iron someone out, or just end up fucking end up so bad on drugs and that I'd have died that way, messy like a lot of people do, and a lot of my good friends have. It was never going to be good. So sometimes, if I'm brutally honest, by the time I would usually get nicked, it was almost like a relief. It was
done you a favour in some ways.
And it becomes painful. Let's be honest here. Conscience is a fierce pursuer, escapes no man. If you are living that life, creating victims and harming people, at someday it comes back and goes whack, and it hits you. And I've done some bad things in my time. I'm not giving it the large, but I've created a lot of victims or whatever. And I'll say this is what I say to like my good friend Kevin Lane. I was saying it to him last week because he's a good friend of mine. Right? He's good as gold. I've been up to see him and that. I said to him, we're all born with a set of scales and they can go that way any time. You know, mine were fucking like that. And I'm going to make the rest of my life about doing that.
If I can just say this, because I was with Dave for that last part of his life, and he had a vision in his head that he said, Bran, look, whatever you do in your youth, as you get into your middle age, you'll look at it and work it out. But he went, the most important part of your life is the last bit.
Of course it is.
Because if you put everything right, get everything right, everyone has to be forgiven for your youth. Because you make mistakes, no matter who you are, you're going to make mistakes. Every one of us is the same. But you get the last bit right where you have to be honest with yourself, face what you've done, and try and put it right in the best way you can, and it sets you up for the last bit of your life.
And also, I think, I'll add to that, and the reason I do podcasts and things like that, and I've done telly and stuff like that, people think, why'd you do it? Because I want to be a name or whatever. I couldn't give a flying fuck about that. You want people to understand it. I'll leave that to other people. If you want to be a gangster, good. The world's full of fucking gangsters. You know, all I want to do is carry a message of hope that we can fucking change. And then your past becomes your greatest asset. You make sense of your own fucking past and go, you know what, I've got a burden and a responsibility and a fucking duty to the victims of the crimes I committed to go, Your fucking suffering weren't in vain.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about...
You want other kids to see it and not
to see it for what it is, and see the pain and suffering and the lost years and all that stuff that I can't get back. I don't want people to go through that. You don't have to go through that. You know, I wasn't emotionally literate as a young man. I couldn't tell you how I felt. I showed you how I felt. You know, hurt people.
Yeah.
And that's what's going on in society today. A lot of these kids and whatever else that are misguided, that are angry, they don't know how to express themselves in a healthy way. You know, there's nothing fucking wrong with saying, I don't get the hymn sheet for life, because I fucking never. And if I'm brutally honest, when I left school, I was so full of fear. I didn't know what the fuck I wanted to be. What the fuck am I going to do? What can I offer this fucking world? I had a self-esteem down here, but pride and ego up here, because you have to perform in a certain way, like a fucking monkey. And I just got completely fucking lost for years, and I paid some fucking heavy prices.
You have paid a lot,
Paid some heavy
do you feel
prices.
about yourself now? Do you kind of look
at
yourself, forgive yourself, or
let me tell you something, Liam. My friend Razor Smith said this so fucking beautifully. Never apologise for who you are. I look the world in the eye. I served my fucking time.
Yeah.
I've apologised, and to the best of my ability, to the people I hurt. I make it my active duty today to do good in society, i.e. there's a lot of stuff I do that I don't talk about, charity stuff, I give a lot away and all that
Loads
sort
of
of
lads
stuff.
like you do that, loads.
I do it, and I don't do it to be seen to be doing it, I do it because it's the right thing to do, and it's my way of making amends, you know, like, you can restore, it's like restorative justice, but no one's telling me to do it, I'm doing it because it's the right thing to do.
You know it's the right thing to do. You've seen the dark side of life,
right thing to
and
do.
the bad side of life, and you know what's right now. You've seen it, you've lived it, and all you want to do is say to other people, fuck me, if I could stop you wasting your life or doing what... We all want to do that. When you get to this age, you want to do that. You want to try and see them youngsters out there that are running around stupidly, but you know they ain't going to listen. That's the trouble. They've got... The sad thing about this world is, and it's got worse for the youth of today, because... The violence is now on a totally different level, isn't it? As a standard thing.
Well, they're all running around stabbing each other, and the reason they're doing that is they're scared. But I also feel sorry for them, because I think the successive governments have stole their future. And the youngsters are not fucking stupid. So they've got this ideology, get rich or die trying. They don't really listen about, well, what do we fucking know? We've never been fucking young. We do fucking know, we do understand. And I understand how fucking hard it is for them. But let me tell you something. There's no such thing as luck in this world. No such fucking thing. You make your own fucking luck.
You make it yourself,
Show me your friends, I'll show you your future. And if you're mixed up in that world, you need to get out of that fucking world. And the reason I say this is because of this. If I told you every pound you give away, you give $2 back, you'd fucking give £1 away, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And my philosophy is this. Give your time, become a giving person as opposed to a taking person, and you become more attractive. Better people come in your life. The people I've got in my life today, I've got successful businessmen and all these sort of people that have come into my world, and my life's got better. I've learnt about business. I get support in that stuff. You know, I employ people. I pay my tax. If you'd have told me I'd be doing this as little as 8-9 years ago, I'd have looked at you
10
like,
years
fucking
ago, you wouldn't
mad.
have had it.
It's fucking mad. What me? Business? It's happened. This is a great fucking saying, and if you don't hear one bit of this, none of it's my wisdom. I'm not Kung Fu Panda, but this is something that I live my life by. So Alfred Hitchcock once said, and listen to this, this is great. Alfred Hitchcock said, all success in life happens by accident. Happens by accident. He said, opportunities come by accident. All you can ever be is in the best place, physically, mentally, and spiritually, should that accident happen.
Yeah, that is fucking
And I
true.
think, what a great fucking saying. Because when you're in that life, you're around fucking people who don't care about you, they care about themselves.
Yeah.
You don't care about yourself, so you don't care about anyone else. You're fucking creating victims. You're just, this is the life. I want to be a G. I want to be a this. I want to be a that. And people, the real people, will just wake me out. All the opportunities and everything just passing by because you're fucking asleep.
Lost in it. Yeah.
When you wake up and go, hang on, there's a bit more to this world, the accident might happen.
Yeah.
And you're in a better place to receive that accident. And that's how life has been for me.
People have had to just sort of see you at the right time, Ray. Do you know what I mean? They've seen you coming out of where you were, and they've seen the possibilities, what you had inside, the potential.
But I've had to work at it, and I continue to work at it.
But other people around you, like you said, have seen that in you, Ray.
Yeah.
And dragged it with you, you know what I mean? You've just built on it.
I've had some good teachers over the years and some good guides, and I continue to the greatest skill I've learned is how to fucking listen.
That is the one.
How to fucking listen.
Yeah.
What was your lowest moment and what has been your best moment in your life?
I would say my lowest moment has got to be... I'd say one of my lowest moments was I had a bit of a breakdown after all that prison I'd done and everything, when I'd done the big sentence and I got out of prison and I started to do all right for a while, but I hadn't done enough work on me emotionally and I got very fucking depressed. I felt like blowing my own head off and I couldn't tell people. And this was sort of the beginning of the change. So I think you have to sink fucking low. You know, the harder the fall...
You have to hit the bottom.
The harder the fall, the higher the bounce.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I'd hit a place where I was fucking really depressed. I just completely lost my... That was one of my lowest points. I'd say my highest point... Were
you suicidal at that point?
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
I don't mind admitting it.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing to be ashamed about.
No.
The life I'd lived it fast and furious. I'd been involved in a lot of fucking stuff, a lot of dark stuff and whatever else. Well, I'd hit a place where everything had caught up with me. My life was going nowhere. My kids were growing up. I was in and out of prison. I was going nowhere. I had nothing, no future. No love in my life. No light. Just all
that
darkness.
That is the thing, isn't it? When there's no love in there, mate, you fucked.
All darkness,
what did you find in yourself that suddenly turned that?
Hope.
From that moment, yeah?
Fucking hope.
Yeah.
Do you know, I was in Belmarsh and a priest, there was a lovely priest there from Belmarsh unit called Father Kevin. Mm. Beautiful, beautiful man. You know, he said to me one day in Belmarsh, he went, what would make you think? You know, and this is what I said to him. I said, you know what, Father, I'd like to meet a decent woman, I think. Mm-hmm. And he went to me, well, become a decent man. I said, how will I find her? Mm-hmm. He said, don't worry, she'll find you. Mm-hmm. And that's come true.
That's happened.
You know, I met my beautiful partner in 2017. She knew all about my past. Mm-hmm. You know, she fucking groomed me on Facebook. We'd been to school together, and it was like it just happened. We met each other. You know, we're getting married next year.
Oh, brilliant.
We've been together eight fucking years now. Oh, sorry, we've been together 8 years. We're getting married. You know, what's the high point in my life?
Yeah,
that's the high point in my life.
Yeah.
Being with another human being, experiencing love, experiencing happiness, experiencing memories. You know, I've done things I never fucking dreamed possible. I never got out of fucking Woolwich, Bermondsey, Deptford. The only time I went on holiday was when I went to prisons up and down the fucking country. I've seen the whole fucking country from a sweatbox. From a fucking sweatbox. You know, in the last 8 years I go to Malta every year because she's got family out there. I've been to the Caribbean, Aruba. I've been to Poland and all these places. I'm going to Barbados next week for 2 weeks. You know, on holiday. Yeah. You know, I work hard. Yeah. My missus works hard. We're having holidays. Fucking what a great life!
Yeah, nice.
What a great life. Do you go back and visit prisons and go in and talk to people?
I go in and do talks. I was in Belmarsh 2 weeks ago. I went into Belmarsh, give a talk. I've been into Hyde Down. I've been in at Downview. I've been into Pentonville. And it's a privilege. It's a fucking honour.
What's it like going back in though? Does it not bring back all of that angst? And
you're a different person now.
Do you know what it does? But I go in there and I think, you know, like I'm going to Belmarsh and I'm so grateful that I can walk into these places and walk out. You can feel it. I can feel the people's pain. I can see how lost a lot of them are. But listen, I'm not going in there to judge and tell people what to do. All I do is go in there and tell people what I do. And tell people what I do. Because no one fucking listens when you tell them what to do. You need to do this, you need to go there. Who fucking knows what you need to do? All I know is I know what I need to do. And if I continue doing it, if you want what I've got, do what I do. Yeah. I don't drink. I don't take drugs, first and foremost, and I fucking used to. Mm-hmm. I used to take drugs, you know. I don't drink, I don't take drugs, and I haven't done for a number of fucking years. Mm-hmm. And I've got no intention of fucking going back there. No. You know, I help people, I consider other people's needs, I try not to, when I get a bit, because crime and criminality is a selfish life. That's the natural human condition, default, selfish, me. I try not to think about me so much, try to think about others. And in doing that, my life's got better.
It will do, yeah.
What would you advise people if people were watching now and they were going to go into a life of crime? How would you try and guide them?
For youngsters, I would say this. You can do whatever you want as long as you're prepared to pay the price. And you will pay the price. Because the rules have changed. You know, there's the Proceeds of Crime Act now, where no matter what you get, they'll take it off you.
Take everything.
They'll take the fucking lot and more. And when you've done your sentence, they'll want you to do another fucking sentence. Technology will get you.
Yeah.
You know, there's no such thing as a successful criminal unless you're a politician.
Yeah.
You know, you will get caught. You will suffer. You will end up in prison.
Your family will suffer.
And no matter how tough you think you are, because there's a lot of tough people out there in there. There's a lot of people who talk UFC outside KFC.
Yeah.
You know, there is some tough people and game people. Who gives a flying fuck? Everyone's as dangerous as the next man.
But we all
Everyone's
have our
capable of
breaking
doing-
point. Every one of us.
Everyone, listen, I've met some of the most dangerous fucking cold-blooded killers I've met. Ain't big muscly fellas with tattoos and loud voices. They're quiet, calm, fucking gentlemen, but they kill you like that. You know, so everyone's fucking tough. Never underestimate anyone. And you may think you're tough. If you can go and spend all them years behind the door, or even any time behind the door, you might get through that. But let me tell you what you're going to miss out on. Something called life and all its beauty, the relationships, the happiness. And if you get big lumps of bird, which some of these fucking poor kids are when they're stabbing each other, and everything, you're going to prison, and in the time you're in prison, people you love are going to die, and you're going to miss these things. They're going to die. Your friends are going to get married. Your friends are going to go.
Generations going to grow up, aren't they? When you're going to come out, it's a different world.
And by the time you do come out, after 20 years, if you come out 20, 25 years, you're not going to be the same person.
Institution.
Because not everyone comes out reformed.
No.
The reality of it is 60-70% of people that go to prison for long periods of time come out and their head is fucked.
Mental, yeah.
You know, you've got to be real headstrong to get through it. Because I know a lot of people who have come out and they're paranoid. They don't fucking come out much. They fucking live very much like they're still in prison.
But they become like, they sit the prison's controlling them still, isn't it?
There's a reason it's called time.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you something, reform is something that happens within. They call it time because, you know, it's time to reflect. When you're behind that fucking door, time. And no matter how hard you think you are, there is always someone harder, someone more dangerous. And if I was to tell you, listen, I was a game fucker in jail and all that stuff, there was times when I was full of fear and fucking scared. When you're on a wing and you're around cold-blooded fucking killers and you know one of them's on one of his mad ones, he's got the other, you're fucking scared. And when it makes you scared, it makes you paranoid. And when you're paranoid, you start to fucking imagine things in your head. And within 2 or 3 weeks, you're plotting to fucking do something.
It's a whole level of stress, isn't it? A whole high level of stress.
And people get ill because of it. I've seen it. I've watched good people fucking crack. And a lot of the people you look up to, the gangsters and all these big hard fucking faces, all that, let me tell you something. And I'm not down talking anyone, but I've done bird with a lot of these people, and so quite some of them are not what you would expect. They're not the image you have in your head, you know, like people have this image of like the Cray twins and all this sort of people. You know, a lot of these big hot people that I used to put on a pedestal, when you actually see them in prison, they're just as fucking vulnerable and fragile as fucking I was. They're like broken fucking children.